High blood sugar causes damage to your cardiovascular system, which results in diabetic complications like poor circulation, poor kidney function, cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, poor wound healing, erectile dysfunction, and the increased potential for strokes and heart attacks. All are life-threatening. In fact, over the last couple of years, diabetes has grown at an epidemic rate. It's estimated that 23.5 million American adults have either type 1 or type 2 diabetes. Yet according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, there are 58 million Americans in a pre-diabetic condition. This means that they have higher than normal blood sugar levels, but not yet high enough to put them in the diabetes category. When you add these two numbers together, over 1/3 of the American adult population either has diabetes or is in a pre-diabetic condition. For certain ethnic groups like African Americans, these numbers are even higher, resulting in significant cardiovascular health issues. We're here to tell you it doesn't have to be this way. To let you know that there is a scientifically designed product called ProArgi-9 Plus that incorporates Nobel Prize winning science to help enhance your cardiovascular system. But before we talk about ProArgi-9 Plus, we want to help you understand how to naturally address the one organ of your body that is most affected by your high blood sugar. By learning how to properly nourish this organ, you can dramatically reduce your diabetic complications. It's important for you to understand that there are two approaches to controlling your diabetes. The first is controlling your blood sugar levels. This is vital and absolutely necessary. Most people understand this approach and will not spend any time on it. What you need to understand is the second approach. Why? Because it's designed to repair the damage blood sugar causes to your cardiovascular system. Few understand this second approach, yet it can make all the difference. The doctor who pioneered this approach and is at the forefront in this area is Dr. J. Joseph Prendergast. Dr. Joe, as he prefers to call himself, is a highly regarded endocrinologist from Palo Alto, California. Dr. Joe has been using this approach since 1991. He has treated more than 7,000 patients and has seen phenomenal results in his practice as a result of his protocols. It's important to note that the vast majority of these patients are diabetics. Dr. Joe's approach centers on repairing the damage done to one critical organ. This organ is not your heart, but an organ that actually regulates most of your cardiovascular system. It's called the endothelium. Your endothelium is only one cell thick, but it lines the inside of your heart. The inside of all your arteries, arterioles, venules, and veins are lined by this one cell thick organ. Your capillaries are just extensions of the endothelium. Research over the last 10 years has clearly shown the endothelium to be a multifunctional organ involved in metabolic, immunologic, and cardiovascular health. One of those functions is to convert the amino acid L-arginine into nitric oxide. In fact, this organ and its ability to create nitric oxide is so important to your health that the 1998 Nobel Prize in Medicine was awarded to 3 American researchers who discovered how the endothelium converts the amino acid L-arginine into nitric oxide, the master signaling molecule of your entire cardiovascular system. So the question is, how does this organ and its ability to produce nitric oxide apply to reducing diabetic complications? In a nutshell, high blood sugar causes oxidative stress to your endothelial cells. This means your endothelium is directly damaged, resulting in less nitric oxide production. This damage and the continuing damage of high blood sugar over time creates a cumulative effect which reduces the function of your endothelium. So learning how to properly control your blood sugar is important to reducing the potential damage to this vital organ. But unless you heal the damage done and the ongoing damage being done, your diabetic complications will continue to grow. By properly combining 2 amino acids with several important vitamins and nutrients, you can naturally support the endothelium and properly nourish it for improved nitric oxide production. Now, we'd like to ask you a question. If you could learn how to effectively address 66% of diabetic complications and do it naturally without drugs. Wouldn't you want to know how? Well, the obvious answer is yes. Here are two important statistics to keep in mind. 66% of diabetics have high blood pressure. 66% of diabetics die from a heart attack or stroke. While the cardiovascular complications associated with diabetes are staggering, it's these two that pose the greatest risk to a person's health and longevity. And your body has an organ that produces a gas called nitric oxide that naturally addresses these two statistics to greatly reduce your risk. First, nitric oxide regulates the muscle tone of blood vessels to have a major impact on controlling your blood pressure. In fact, nitric oxide is your body's most powerful vasodilator. This means it causes the smooth muscle of your vascular wall to relax. This helps to reduce blood pressure and improves blood flow through the vascular system. Second, nitric oxide keeps blood platelet cells from grouping together to naturally prevent blood clots. The vast majority of all strokes and heart attacks are caused by a blood clot. Thus, nitric oxide naturally reduces the number one cause of strokes and heart attacks while reducing the number one risk factor, which is high blood pressure. As we stated earlier, high levels of blood glucose cause oxidative stress or damage to the endothelium. This damage can lead to plaque formations, which over time can narrow the interior of the vascular wall, leading to a disease called atherosclerosis. This can result in poor blood flow, an increased risk for high blood pressure, and the formation of a blood clot leading to a stroke or heart attack. Nitric oxide, when at sufficient levels in the bloodstream, can heal damage done to the endothelium to keep it healthy. And current research indicates that nitric oxide can help to reverse plaque formations to help return the endothelium and vascular wall to a supple and healthy state. The result of this process is improved circulation and blood flow. This improves the delivery of oxygen and nutrients to the cells, tissues, and organs. This also aids in the body's ability to properly use blood glucose as an energy source so that cells, tissues, and organs function better. Bottom line to all this is that many of the complications of diabetes go away. You still need to watch your blood sugar levels, but at least you're taking an active approach to limiting and repairing the damage done to the endothelium. As you can see, nitric oxide directly addresses three of the health complications of diabetes: high blood pressure, strokes, and heart attacks. It's so critical to everyone's health that Nobel laureate Dr. Louis J. Ignarro, in his book No More Heart Disease, had this to say about nitric oxide. It is produced by the body specifically to help keep arteries and veins free of the plaque that causes stroke, and to maintain normal blood pressures by relaxing the arteries, thereby regulating the rate of blood flow and preventing coronaries. Nitric oxide is the body's natural cardiovascular wonder drug. End of quote. Thankfully, there is a product that combines the 20-plus years of clinical research and experience of Dr. J. Joseph Prendergast with the nutritional scientists at Nature's Sunshine Products to help you properly nourish your endothelium, to help it properly produce this nitric oxide. In fact, many believe, as we do, that it's the best nitric oxide supplement in the marketplace. It's called ProArgi-9 Plus and is distributed by Synergy worldwide. It contains both L-arginine and L-citrulline at the needed levels to help turbocharge your endothelium's ability to produce nitric oxide over an extended period of time. In addition to the L-arginine and L-citrulline, ProArgi-9 Plus also includes the following ingredients. We're not going to go into detail about each ingredient, but we would like you to understand that there are 262 quality assurance steps that go into the manufacturing of this product to ensure the highest quality and potency of the ingredients used. So, what does all this information mean to you? Well, let's look at the major complications of diabetes and how the health of your endothelial cells and their ability to properly produce nitric oxide can make a difference. Improved circulation. By repairing and nourishing your endothelial cells to properly produce nitric oxide, you will improve circulation. High blood pressure. Nitric oxide is the most powerful vasodilator your body produces, which relaxes the vascular wall to reduce blood pressure. By having healthy and properly functioning endothelial cells, you will dramatically help your body control blood pressure. Cardiovascular disease. According to the American Heart Association, 74% of all heart disease and death is due to atherosclerosis and arteriosclerosis, which all centers on damage to the endothelial cells. If you properly repair and nourish these cells, then you limit and actually reverse this damage to have a huge impact on reducing the risk for cardiovascular disease. Decreased risk for strokes and heart attacks. Nitric oxide keeps blood platelet cells from sticking together. This prevents blood clots and substantially reduces the risk for strokes and heart attacks. Improved wound healing. One of the functions of the endothelial cells is angiogenesis, which is the formation of new capillaries. This is extremely important for proper blood flow for your heart, tissues, and organs, and it's critical in wound healing. Wound healing is a common problem for diabetics. By helping to properly nourish your endothelium and improve its function, you're also improving its ability to help heal wounds. As you can see, by repairing and nourishing your endothelial cells to enhance their ability to properly produce nitric oxide, you can have a significant impact on limiting and preventing the complications of diabetes.